Hello everyone, checking into our latest forecast for the United States. So we're going to have a look at weather next 10 to 14 days for North America in this video. And then we're going to have a look at CFSV2 for the next 4 weeks. That will take us into the early part of August. Again, looking at weather across the United States and across North America too. So these videos for America are YouTube exclusives. We are not embedding these to GavsWeatherVids.com at the moment. So if you want to know when we are releasing our forecast for America, will generally be on a Monday and a Thursday, then all you need to do is subscribe to the YouTube channel and click all notifications. You'll then be notified when we release these videos on a Monday and also on a Thursday too. Don't forget to like the video as well, just a thumbs up, and let us know in the comments what you think. Right then, so beginning in the tropics, because we didn't do any updates last week, I took a week off. So beginning in the tropics, things are beginning to develop now down in the tropical Atlantic. Now, I did a video earlier on today for the UK and for Northern Europe, but I did have a look at what's happening in the tropical Atlantic. There were 2 disturbance areas at that time, like 3-4 hours ago. We now have 3 disturbance areas. Another disturbance area has appeared. So this is from the National Hurricane Center. Let's take them all one by one. So dealing with the first disturbance area just here off the Gulf Coast of Texas. Let's see what's happening there. That's disturbance free with a 10% chance of cyclone formation in the next 48 hours. This is the most recent disturbance area. So, National Hurricane Center is saying surface observations indicate that a weak low pressure area has formed over northwestern Gulf of Mexico. The associated shower and thunderstorm activity is currently disorganized and little additional development is expected before the system moves inland over Texas tonight or Tuesday. 10% chance of cyclone formation today, or in the next 48 hours, and a 10% chance in the next 5 days. Looks like it's going to bring heavy showers and thunderstorms into Texas, but probably won't develop into a tropical storm. Only 10% chance that it will do so. We've also got this disturbance area just here in the Caribbean. Let's see what's happening with that one. It's disturbance 1. Again, just with 10% chance of cyclone formation in the next 48 hours, a 20% chance in the next 5 days. They say disorganized showers and thunderstorms over the Bahamas, central and eastern Cuba, and the adjacent Atlantic waters are associated with a tropical wave. The system is expected to move west-northwest through the Straits of Florida today, over the southwestern Gulf of Mexico by Tuesday, across the central Gulf on Wednesday, and reach the northwestern Gulf on Thursday. Environmental conditions could become a little more conducive for development of this system once it reaches the Gulf of Mexico. It's going to go in this sort of direction. And, of course, as it comes over warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico, something could happen. At Mono, 20% chance of cyclone formation, but we need to keep a close eye on that. And then we've got this third disturbance area just here, a long way into the tropical Atlantic Ocean just there. That one is disturbance 2, with a 20% chance of cyclone formation in the next 48 hours. Shower activity associated with a tropical wave located about 1,000 miles west-southwest of Cabo Verde Islands has become a little better organised this morning. Environmental conditions are expected to be marginally conducive for development of this system during the next few days while it moves westward at 10 to 15 miles per hour over the tropical Atlantic. By Friday night weekend, conditions are forecast to become less favourable for tropical cyclone formation. So this system could become a tropical cyclone in the next couple of days, but if it doesn't do anything by Friday in the weekend, then it probably won't. It's going to go in that sort of direction, and again, we need to keep a close on it. So it doesn't look as though this will do anything other than bring heavy showers and storms into Texas. But these 2 are the ones we need to keep a close eye on. At the moment, they all have low risk and low chance of becoming a tropical cyclone. But this could just be the first signs that things are beginning to crank up now. Maybe this season, which got off to quite a flying start actually in May and early June, but has become quite a bit quieter over the past month or so. It could be that we're now beginning to move up a couple of gears. The moment still only disturbance areas, but this could be the first signs, that things are starting to move now with this tropical storm and hurricane season. We are expecting a big season. Keep that in mind. Have been all the way along. This is how sea surface temperature anomalies are looking in the Atlantic Ocean. You can see that in this area where we get these showers and thunderstorms, yes, we very much have warmer than average sea surface temperature anomalies. There's Cabo Verdes, for example. This is all the tropical Atlantic, Caribbean, Gulf of Mexico, all areas with above average sea surface temperature anomalies. It's a melting pot of energy that, and so yes, I think we are still going to see a big season this year. I've been saying that all the way along. I haven't issued a forecast, but I have been saying I think this is going to be a big season, and I still sort of stick by that. We also have very warm sea surface temperature anomalies at the eastern seaboard of the United States and going up in towards sort of northern Canada and Greenland, that sort of area. So this year in particular, if we start getting storms doing this sort of movement, then that could maintain the warm and average sea surface temperatures up the eastern seaboard, could maintain those hurricanes a long way northwards, and it could imply that we're going to see some quite high impacts for the east coast of America this season. Again, it always depends on the track of these systems, though, because if they go in that direction, then they tend to sort of impact the Gulf more, and the Caribbean and that sort of area there. But if they start doing something like this, so they start curving up the east coast like that, with warm and average sea surface temperatures off the eastern seaboard, we could see some quite high impacts for the east coast itself, as those storms are able to maintain their energy a long way northwards to the northeastern part of the United States. Be interesting to see how this works out, but just because we've had a quieter month or so in the tropics, I still think we're going to get quite a big season this year again. These are how the wind speeds are looking and whatnot, the upper level winds from earthnullschool.net. So you remember one of the things that caused like a quieter interlude in the tropics is that we brought a lot of dust, or we did bring a lot of dust and sand out of Africa. That's much less of an issue now. You see how the upper level winds are doing something like that, not drawing the air anywhere near as much out of Saharan Africa. And so the upper atmospherics are much more conducive to develop thunderstorms now, I think, through the tropical Atlantic, or are becoming much more conducive to the development of tropical storms. If we have a look at the particulates in the upper atmosphere, we can see that there is still quite a lot of dust and sand and stuff off the coast of Africa itself. But as we come out into the tropical Atlantic, so through here and through here, all of these areas where we get these thunderstorms developing, much less now, much less in the way of dust and sand through these areas of the tropical Atlantic and going over to the Gulf Coast. Much less of it compared to what we had 2-3 weeks ago. And so I think very gradually, very slowly, the upper atmosphere is becoming more conducive to the development of these storms and tropical waves. And I suspect these disturbance areas are indicative of that, of the fact that the upper atmospheric setup is becoming a lot more conducive to the development of storms, thunderstorms, and disturbance areas. And it'll just be a case of waiting it out now for when one of these disturbance areas, maybe one of these three, it may be another disturbance area that hasn't yet formed, but at some point a disturbance area will develop and will develop on into tropical storm and probably for much longer into a hurricane. So all eyes will be on the tropics in the next few weeks and months, of course. Right, these are the 500 millibar high dominant flow charts from Penn State University for the next week to 10 days. We have got the ECMWF on the left of the screen as you're looking at it. The GFS is over on the right. They're side by side. And we can see that in the week to 10 day time frame, it still looks pretty hard across many parts of the states. We've still got this ridge, albeit a little bit weaker than it has been, but still got this ridge over in the east and the northeast. The jet stream is still pushed northwards, really, up to Canada. Most parts of the state still drawing up these hot winds from the south. Again, the GFS is very similar. Ridge over the east and northeast part of America. Jet stream pushed northwards up to Canada. Hot air being drawn northwards through many parts of the states. Both the ECM and the GFS implying some pretty hot weather to come. Has been a very hot July, of course, across many parts of America, and this hot July, hot summer is set to continue. These were GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles the next couple of weeks. We're at Nashville today. So red line is a 30-year upper air temperature average for Nashville. And you can see that generally the upper air temperatures are going to be hot and average. Hot time of year anyway, of course, down there in the southern part of America. The deep south will be hot at this time of year, very hot of course, but it's generally hotter than average from beginning to end, very little deviation. So yes, it's hot time of year, but it is hotter than average, and that's indicative for most parts of America as well. But lots of heavy showers and thunderstorms being triggered by that heat, so plenty of rainfall spikes for Nashville. No problems at all in terms of precipitation. Going to be loads of heavy showers and thunderstorms being triggered by these hot temperatures. So it really is a melting pot of heat, humidity, and also of thunder. Temperature anomalies from the 20th to 28th of July, generally hotter than average through most parts of the states. We do have one or two limited areas that aren't quite as hot. For example, we've got eastern parts of Texas, the southeast of Texas, a little bit cooler there. That's because of heavy storms, I think, coming out of the Gulf. Up towards the Great Lakes, again, just a little bit cooler there. But overall, it's a hot scene across many parts of America. Temperatures well above average, especially through those central and western states, but also in the east as well. It does look pretty warm. It's a hot scene, really, most parts of America in the week ahead. Precipitation anomalies from the 20th to 28th of July, varying from state to state. Looks very dry over on the west coast. So the west coast is significantly drier than average, right way from the Pacific Northwest down to the southwest. Otherwise, again, a lot of variation from state to state, really. We've got heavy showers around east parts of Texas and thunderstorms coming out of the Gulf. Go further east into the southeast part of the state, so over towards Florida, for example, it looks quite dry there. And then, again, just varies from state to state, really. Some states are a little bit wetter, some states are a little bit drier. This is indicative of heavy showers and thunderstorms, sort of hit and miss type storms, really, being triggered by the heat and humidity, but many parts of America will be seeing in the next week. Right, let's get rid of that. This is how the GFS 6Z is looking for today then. So the broad setup that says that most parts of the states are hot. We've got this ridge over in the east pulling up these hot southerly winds across most parts of the country. There is a trough of low pressure up towards Canada that's trying to dig in to the north, but generally most parts of the states looking hot today. It is a little bit cooler in this Canadian-America border just here. A little bit cooler with your upper air temperatures there. Very hot up the eastern coast, very hot through many of these Midwestern states, and particularly hot as we go over towards the western side of America with those upper air temperatures. Moving through to tomorrow, again, it stays hot through many parts of the states, drawing up those hot southerly winds across many parts of America. There is this area of low pressure here that's trying to push its way in from Canada. It does get into the far northern part of America, the far northeastern part of America, but generally this ridge and its attendant heat wave is keeping that trough of low pressure at bay. So many parts of America continuing to look hot up to the end of the week. We have got a trough of low pressure, as we usually do, digging into the northwest of the Pacific Ocean. That is bringing cooler air out of the northwestern Pacific, not much more comfortable up there than the northeastern Pacific, I should say. Moving through to the weekend, again, it's a hot scene from many parts of America. The wind direction is generally southerly, generally drawing up hot air from the south as we go through into the weekend across many parts of states. Very slack rain, so there will be heavy showers and thunderstorms in places, but I think the storyline is really one of heat. These how the upper air temperatures are looking for Sunday. So you see, again, it's a hot scene really from the west coast to the east coast. Most parts of states are looking hot with those upper air temperatures, particularly hot like in the southwest and going up towards the midwest too. Then we head on in towards next week, so then again it just stays pretty hot really through many parts of America. Again, we are trying to draw cooler air down from Canada with these areas of low pressure, but generally the ridge and its hot temperatures keeping that cooler air at bay. At times we do bring some slight cooler air into these far northern states, just there, but generally again most parts of America from the west coast to the east coast are looking really quite hot. There could be some sort of tropical system down here that may threaten Hawaii, somewhere like that, around day 10. We need to watch out for that. Otherwise, GFS not really seeing much in the way of tropical storms developing like through the Gulf and through the Caribbean as we head up towards day 10. But again, these disturbance areas might develop into tropical systems, tropical storms over the next few days. Heading on into the extended range with this GFS run, it looks like we've got some sort of a system developing there through the early part of August. So this is in the Gulf, just here. That low just there, that could be a tropical storm that's beginning to get going. It's very extended range for the GFS, and by the time you get through to the 5th of August, that low has made it onto the Gulf Coast just there. Doesn't look like much at the moment, but it's around 2 weeks away, and so we need to keep a very close eye on that. Otherwise, again, most parts of the states are looking really quite hot, especially through the Midwest. It's a little bit cooler in the far northeast and also in the extreme northwest, but most parts of states do look pretty hot. ECM looks like that. This is Euro for tomorrow. Again, a hot scene away from far northern states. A little bit cooler up there if this low pressure is trying to push out of Canada. But otherwise, it's hot scene again through most parts of America through the middle part of this coming week into the end of the week. Again, we're drawing up southerly winds through most parts of states. Looking pretty hot. It is cooler in the northwest. Trying to go a little bit cooler in the extreme northeast as well. But really, most parts of states look hot into the weekend with those southerly winds as the upper air temperatures for Sunday, again, painting a hot scene right away from the west coast over to the east coast. Most parts of America are looking hot. Again, the gradients are slack, so there will be heavy showers and thunderstorms breaking out with this heat and humidity. It's not completely settled, but I think the storyline is still one of heat, really, through the rest of July. It has been a hot July across most parts of the United States, and that is set to continue. Moving up towards day 10 with the Euro, again, very little change. Low pressure trying to come out of Canada in towards the Great Lakes and the far northern states, possibly bring some cooler air and some heavy showers there. We see that with the upper air temperature just dropping off a little bit in the far north, but overall looks pretty hot up to day 10 up the east coast, very hot up there, proper heat wave conditions, and also over the central and western states as well. Again, the ECM doesn't show any particular sort of tropical storm, or certainly not a hurricane, no particular tropical storm getting going within the next 10 days, but these disturbance areas that we've currently got and more could develop. We do need to keep a close eye on them. Finally, the CFS-V2, so these are 500 millibare heights breaking down into week periods. The first week period takes from the 20th, 26th of July. The coming week does look hot across many parts of America. We've got this ridge in the east and in the north. It's drawing up these hot southerly winds across most parts of the states. There's a bit of a trough in the extreme northwest, so slightly cooler there, but otherwise, most parts of America look hot in the coming week. And week 2 also looks hot. This is 27th of July to 2nd of August. Again, as long as this ridge is maintained over in the east and the northeast, it's going to draw up these hot southerly winds. So temperatures will stay hot there into the early part of August, if that's right. Week 3 is the 3rd to the 9th of August. Again, ridge in the east. It does imply we're drawing up hot southerlies from many of those central and midwestern and eastern states. Bit of a change for week 4. It's the 10th to 16th of August. The ridge possibly moving up towards Canada then. Maybe implying lower pressure and the jet stream coming a little bit further southwards, perhaps cooling things down a little bit by the time you get through to the middle of August. This is how the temperatures are looking in the week ahead with CFS-V2. So 20th, 26th of July looks hot across many eastern, northeast states. These western states indicated to be a little bit cooler, though. So the CFS wants to be a little bit cooler in the west, whereas those eastern and northeastern states look very hot. Most parts of America looking really hot in week 2, which is the 27th of July to 2nd of August. Again, you see particularly through the Midwest and going up the eastern coast and up to many parts of Canada as well, looking really hot. Out in the northwest, it's cooler there around northwestern parts of Canada and northwest parts of America. But proper heat wave through much of the states. Week 3 is the 3rd to the 9th of August. So if this is right, the hot July is going to carry on into August as well, with many eastern and northeastern states again looking really hot in the northwest. Does look a little bit cooler there. Week 4 is the 10th to the 16th of August, just losing the intensity of the heat a little bit across those central and eastern states, but still warmer than average. Coolest anomalies to average in the west and in the northwest. Finally, precipitation looking like that from the 20th, 26th of July. So bearing to area, these are going to be thunderstorms. We know these are caused by the disturbance areas that we're going to have around the Gulf Coast in the week ahead. Otherwise, dry in the southeast and dry in the northeast. We go through to week 2, which is 27th of July to 2nd of August. A little bit thundery, perhaps over on the eastern side of the states. These midwestern and central states looking quite dry. Florida looking pretty dry as well. Down into the Caribbean, though, and into the Gulf. Again, it looks generally a little bit wetter through there. Week 3 is the 3rd to the 9th of August. That's just becoming generally a little bit more unsettled. Heavy showers and storms breaking out perhaps more widely across the states in that week, and then this goes on into week 4 as well, the 10th to the 16th of August. Perhaps just seeing a general sort of increase in thunderstorm activity through many parts of the states. I think for the time being, the storyline remains one of heat through most parts of the United States. It's been a hot July, and the hot July is set to continue through the rest of the month and could extend out into the first half of August as well. So it's turning into really hot summer through many parts of North America, while over here in Northern Europe it's a lot cooler. Has been for a few years. With this summer over in America, that's where the heat is. And I think it looks like it's going to extend out into the early part of August as well. Tropics are beginning to increase. At the moment, we're only talking about disturbance areas. No particular indication at this stage of tropical storms or hurricanes. But as these disturbance areas start getting going and become more frequent, eventually one of them is gonna pop and create a tropical storm or possibly even a hurricane. So the heat is the story at the moment. Possibly in a week or so's time, that will shift towards like tropical storms and hurricane potential. We shall see. We're going to do another update for America on Thursday. If you've enjoyed this video, then please give us a like. Let us know in the comments what you think. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and we'll be back with the next update for the United States on Thursday. That's all for now, and thanks for watching.